Number 6 next season. All right, that's Nightly News for this Tuesday. I'm Tom Yamase. We thank you so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com and McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime. The child care industry continues to speak up, demanding better communication, while public health warns middle-class families are at risk of losing coverage. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with a report coming up.
As deliberations over the GovGuam budget continue, Tourism Oversight Chair Senator Jessie Lujan is calling for a shakeup in GVB's leadership. I'm Don Sulet with the full story coming up.
From August 4th to August 8th, we recognize Coast Guard Week and their dedication and service. Tonight, I'm Janice Carrasco, and I have more on the week-long festivities.
Hafa and good evening, everybody. This is KUAM News Primetime. I'm Jason Salas. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and for everybody streaming us worldwide. Hafa from back home. We're going to continue our coverage on how the child care industry locally is being impacted from the ongoing delays in the Child Care Development Fund, a federal program helping primarily low-income families pay for child care. Now, this news comes as senators continue to debate the issue, and public health warns 20% of more than 2,700 kids relying on the initiative are at risk of losing coverage, with the middle class the most vulnerable. Tonight's top story is with our Mitsuki Hirayama.
From letting go of staff to cutting hours of operations, Discovery Learning Center owner Lindsay Bennett says she's had to make similar hard choices as childcare providers like her business continue to see delayed processing of payments for a federal program that helps families pay for childcare.
So we've always seen delays. I think since we've opened, there have always been delays. My husband and I opened with the purpose of helping children. We're both educators. We like teaching. We like kids. So we really try our best not to turn away any children, even if they're under the block grant program.
The center is fairly new, only having opened in 2024, but she said she's always had challenges with the Child Care Development Fund, which is managed by the Department of Public Health and Social Services and dispersed by the Department of Administration.
We were actually told from other center owners that block grant typically has a payment delay, so we planned for it in the beginning. We just did not expect the 3-month-long delays.
That puts a burden on the providers who have been essentially operating without being paid or reimbursed for up to 3 months at a time, and without a clear explanation why. As reported, parents and providers have started coming together to speak up since June over the controversial issue.
So we've asked public health, and they've said, well, they're in process. The payment is coming. We've asked DOA. Sometimes DOA will say they didn't receive anything. Sometimes they will also say it's processing, but we've found out recently that the delay is being caused by non-payment of federal funds.
Meanwhile, the program is seeing a funding shortfall that the governor wants senators to shore up with local funds, $11.4 million of it. $5 million was already pulled from the Department of Youth Affairs and the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center's child care programs. Now, public health needs $7.6 million to close out the fiscal year. Public health officials telling senators that 20% of some 2,730 children relying on the program is at risk of losing coverage, with the middle class first to go.
If we have to tighten our belt and we can only afford to give to the lowest income, then the middle class will be affected.
But the child care industry wants public health to hear their concerns as well.
Centers would like better communication with public health. Early, timely communication. We have to plan.
And for government leaders to hear their plea about what will happen if that funding doesn't pull through.
It means that many of us will have to make hard decisions about closing or even just stopping accepting those under the program. So if childcare is not provided for, how can anything else in the economy be provided for. It would not be a good scenario for families and for daycare employees who are essential to the industry and to the economy.
Meantime, the childcare industry is also asking for a realistic reimbursement rate. Guam families currently receive up to $700 per child, while military families get $2,000 each.
We have to figure out where their money is coming from, and then Congress asks our congressman to try to advocate to get some parity from inside or outside the fence.
Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
All right, moving down in our rundown, we look to the Guam legislature where in the midst of the GovGuam budget discussion, Tourism Oversight Chair Senator Jesse Lujan is calling for an immediate shakeup in the Guam Visitors Bureau, arguing that agency's leadership is not doing its part to assist in revitalizing Guam's #1 economic driver. Don Sulat gives you the details.
The Guam Visitors Bureau and Committee on Tourism Oversight Chair Senator Jesse Lujan are at odds.
The Guam Visitors Bureau Board must seriously consider calling the resignation or termination of the leadership responsible for these failures. We cannot continue spending tens of millions of dollars treating the symptoms while refusing to address the underlying failure.
Discourse continues at the People's House over the governor's proposed Government of Guam budget following her recent veto of the initial one sent by the legislature. Today's special session centering around the Guam International Airport Authority. However, before deliberations over their upcoming fiscal year budget began, Committee on Tourism Oversight Chair Senator Lujan openly criticized GVB.
I will support protecting Guam's air service, but I will also insist that the airport, the Guam Visitors Bureau, and this administration provide a clear plan showing how we prevent Guam from returning to this same situation next year.
Senator Lujan criticizing the lack of filled seats in airlines and the lack of tourists coming to Guam despite appropriating $10 million to GVB. The tourism chair also critical of the over $17 million requested to assist the airport with their financial obligations and shortfalls. We reached out to GVB President and CEO Regine Biscoli for comment in response to Senator Lujan's statements. Biscoli telling KUAM that although she respects the chairman's opinion, she serves at the pleasure of the GVB board and its directors, adding that, quote, "The chairman has never once called me to seek my resignation or offer his perspective. He simply issued press releases. While that is certainly his right, I invite him to visit GVB and talk to our team. Sometimes learning gets you further than lecturing," end quote. The GVB president says that she has confidence in the GVB staff and leadership team, and they, quote, "remain focused and steadfast in advancing GVB's mission, supporting our industry partners, and strengthening Guam's tourism industry," end quote. Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Don Sulet.
Don, thanks so much. Remember, if you would like to comment on any of these stories, please join the conversation on social media. We are at KUAM News. Let's take a look at some crime news now as the Guam Police Department continues to investigate the fatal truck and pedestrian crash that occurred just before 2 p.m. on July the 22nd down in Anigua. Now, police say the adult male victim was not carrying identification at the time of the incident, with investigators now working with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner to identify him through fingerprint analysis. According to GPD's preliminary investigation, the tractor trailer was parked on the shoulder of West Soledad Avenue near House of Chinfi and 7th Street. After the truck began to travel westbound, the driver reportedly felt a bump near the rear tires, and when the driver stopped and exited the vehicle, he discovered a man lying on the roadway. CPR was performed by emergency responders but was later discontinued. The victim was pronounced dead at the Guam Memorial Hospital at 3:50 p.m. and his body transferred to the aforementioned medical examiner's office. The investigation is ongoing. GPD also tonight is also asking for the public's help as they continue to investigate a hit and run involving an e-bike in Barrigada. The crash happened around 11:22 Friday night on Route 16 near the Barrigada post office, with police saying an adult male riding the e-bike was struck by a vehicle that fled the scene before officers arrived. The victim was transported to Guam Regional Medical City in Dededo, with investigators urging anyone who may have witnessed the crash or having any information about the vehicle involved, please contact GPD's dispatch. Their number is 671-475-8615. Tips can also be submitted anonymously to Guam Crime Stoppers. What is going on with Mother Nature and what she has planned for the skies? We'll tell you, because scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms are expected across Guam and the CNMI today as moderate to strong westerly winds continue through the rest of the week. Our friends at the NWS say combined seas will remain between 8 and 11 feet, with surf of 7 to 10 feet along all reefs and beaches except south-facing shores. Beachgoers and mariners are urged to use caution as hazardous marine conditions do persist throughout the area. Now, meanwhile, Typhoon Dolphin is tracking well north of Micronesia and has exited the NWS Guam's forecast area. And while the storm is not expected to directly impact the Marianas, it will generate north swells across parts of Micronesia. Forecasters say the region remains favorable for additional tropical disturbances in the coming weeks, though no immediate threats to Guam or the CNMI have been identified. You should stay updated as weather conditions can change quickly. Please stay tuned, everybody. The live stream continues when primetime returns.
Let's do this. Pack the backpack. Fill the lunchbox. Cover the basics. Start new adventures. Whatever's on the schedule, Kmart has everything you need, all in one stop. Kmart, let's make a great school year.
Anything's possible. I push to the limits. I climb every wall. I keep on believing. Anything's possible.
If there's one thing we've learned, it's never to underestimate the spirit and strength of the people of our island home. Which is why at Bank of Hawaii, you, your dreams, and your possibilities will always have a home. Reach your possible with Bank of Hawaii.
Hafa and welcome back to Primetime, everybody. Now, you may recall from last night's show, I told you about a huge infusion of funding that's been approved for the Guam Department of Labor for advanced workforce development. I wanted some more information about it, and as luck would have it today, I ran into a buddy of mine downtown today as I was having lunch, who just happens to be the agency's director. Here's the details. Joined by Department of Labor Director Dave De La Soto. Dave, Hafa Day, and congratulations. We have more than 600,000 reasons to celebrate and everything. A big, big grant came in, which is going to be amazing things for our people to increase opportunity, and that's what you've always been about.
Yes, and I'm so thankful that, you know, the U.S. Department of Labor finally heard us, because we never got any funding before. We were always self-sustaining. And with the governor and the lieutenant governor, the feds heard, and it's nationally recognized, our Guam Registered Apprenticeship Program. And with that, they said, apply. And so we applied and we got it. $600,000 for every year for the next 3 years.
So $1.8 million with which to create jobs and expand skill sets, Dave, and that's the one thing that really stood out to me when I found out, because, I mean, it's the tried and true industries here on Guam, which is, you know, masonry, electrical, shipbuilding, like all that stuff.
It's going to hold the whole gamut.
But artificial intelligence is part of that too, and you're trying to get, like, especially the youth and maybe like the more experienced workforce up to speed with like skills that right now like are essential for any industry.
Yeah, one thing we know with this economy, there are plenty of jobs, but what our people are hurting for are careers. And that's what I've been concentrating on.
That's a good point.
You know, we came in, it was about 240, now it's over 1,300 in apprenticeship. And that is pay, earn, and learn, and it gives you a career opportunity, you get certificates, and it's in all, not just in the trades, but in all fields. So we are really looking and targeting now the kids that are in school, that don't want to high school, that maybe don't want college, or those out-of-school youth that don't have a direction and they want a career path. That's what I'm concentrating them on. So we're getting employers together, we're looking at pre-apprenticeship in order to help increase the people staying in the apprenticeship program. We are introducing them into our pre-apprenticeship program where they get a taste of work, they get some job skills, they get some learning skills, how to cope and how to, work, the things that are involved in that trade.
It's like the practicum that you would say.
So they get a taste, and if they like it, then we put them into apprenticeship.
Okay.
And that way we get better outcomes.
Okay, because that is the one thing, and my sister went off island for college, and the school that she went to only offered an associate's degree, but it also had guaranteed job placement, and that made a world of difference because you can be educated and skilled, but you get out into what is essentially, like you said, there are jobs and careers out there. The workforce can also be very, very brutal.
Yes.
And it's about finding a good fit, so that's where you guys come in too.
And that's what we want our kids. When I was in high school, I wasn't sure which direction. So we will put them in their pre-apprentice, give them a taste, and if they like that field, then we'll continue them. If they want to change, we'll change them. And that's what it's all about, getting our youth and our out-of-school youth started. And we also want to increase our participation with Guam Trades Academy. They do a great program, so we want to help those who need financial assistance. And this $600,000 will go a long way to helping our people get into career.
Well, government officials gathered Tuesday for a proclamation signing recognizing Coast Guard Week and celebrating the service of the United States Coast Guard. That proclamation honors Coast Guard members for their unwavering commitment to safeguarding Guam's waters, conducting search and rescue missions, enforcing maritime law, and responding during times of emergency. Commander of the U.S. Coast Guard Forces Micronesia, Jessica Wurst, expressed her gratitude for the proclamation and highlighted the service members who carry out the branch of service's mission every single day.
Initially enforcing customs laws, protecting our coasts. Really, they were looking for smugglers and collecting tariffs for everything coming into our ports. And I look at where we've evolved, and we've become such a multi-mission Coast Guard that operates globally now. We've been Semper Paratus, always ready, as we responded to 2 back-to-back super typhoons in our area. I know we opened the Port of Guam quickly, or the governor would be very upset with me. And not only the Port of Guam, but also our ports up in Siem Mai, Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, because we all recognize the criticality of the marine transportation system out here, with more than 90% of our goods coming in through the ports to support our people, our communities, and our military out here as well. But it's not just response to natural disasters. We're out there doing search and rescue every day. And then additionally, we also have teams going out protecting and securing our maritime approaches, deterring illegal fishing. We have teams that go out in our ports to ensure we're safe. They're inspecting our vessels, our facilities, our containers that come in to really maintain the security of our area. I would say the demand for the Coast Guard has never been greater.
The ceremony concluded by recognizing the Coast Guard's 236 years of service and its continued commitment to protecting the nation and the people of Guam. And for every Coast Guardman who's ever worn the uniform, Semper Paratus, and we thank you for your service. Well, nationally, the Trump administration says it may have a deal today or tomorrow to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and de-escalate the conflict with Iran. The president this week threatened that Tehran has a last chance to reach a peace deal before, quote, decapitation. Here's more.
Qatar, one of the countries that's been mediating, said today that language for a possible interim deal between the U.S. and Iran has been drafted and that the focus is finding a short-term resolution which could then reignite the larger negotiations.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio touted progress in talks to fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz, saying the U.S. is involved in the ongoing discussions between Iran and Oman.
There's been progress made in those talks, but not finality yet.
The Associated Press reports that under the proposed deal, ships would enter the Persian Gulf through an Iranian-controlled route and exit through an Oman-controlled route. Some reports say both countries would collect service fees for providing security, even though the Trump administration has opposed tolls of any kind.
I'm not going to let them charge. If anybody's going to charge, we'll charge.
Both President Trump and his Secretary of State also say phase 2 of negotiations with Iran will focus on nuclear issues and could take a while longer.
The denuclearization of Iran is the ultimate deal.
President Trump has not given a clear timeline for how long the talks could take, and he warns it's the regime's last shot at diplomacy.
I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. Very tough to do what we have planned, still planned.
Qatar's foreign ministry spokesperson confirms mediators are working behind the scenes.
Our focus right now is on avoiding escalation, reopening the strait, and reopening the door for diplomacy.
Despite signs of potential progress, a British maritime agency says an unknown projectile struck a cargo vessel in the Strait of Hormuz overnight.
Qatar and other allies say they're firm in their position that the strait must return to its status before the conflict started, when no fees nor tolls were charged. Iran has said that the Strait of Hormuz will not return to its pre-war state. At the White House, Natalie Brand, CBS News.
From the entertainment beat, an Academy Award winner puts his sword skills to use, and in a story that Matsuki and Don are going to be jumping up and down about, Spider-Man soars to more screens following a massive debut. Check it out.
A new docuseries on Paramount Plus takes viewers inside some of the most daring military missions in U.S. history.
It did look like a one-way ticket.
Yes. Go. We could feel our odds of surviving going down.
Special Ops True, produced by See It Now Studios, features exclusive footage and first-hand accounts of hunting down Osama bin Laden, the Black Hawk Down incident in Somalia, and other daring operations, as told by the brave men and women who risked their lives to pull them off. Special Ops True is streaming now on Paramount Plus.
You take it from me, and you expect me to bow down to you.
A religious hitman struggles with grief, faith, and survival in the upcoming action thriller, Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother. Mahershala Ali stars as a father who embarks on a desperate journey across Houston to protect his children after his wife dies. The Academy Award winner teams up with director Bassam Tariq on the film after their plans to collaborate on Marvel's Blade fell apart. Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother opens in select theaters September 25th with a wider rollout October 9th.
Dr. Banner?
No Banner. Only Hulk.
And Spider-Man Brand New Day is expanding to IMAX screens in North America after a blockbuster opening. The film, starring Tom Holland and Zendaya, earned $360 million at U.S. and Canadian box offices in its first weekend, surpassing the record set by Avengers Endgame in 2019. Beginning Thursday, IMAX says it'll split its screen time at select digital locations in North America between the Sony Pictures hit and Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Now, we all know that the waves look beautiful rolling into Boat Basin, but flying out past that part of Agane is pretty cool too.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Slow roasted chicken at Taco Bell. It's inside the new Cantina Chicken Rolled Quesadilla. Yeah, it's in there. He gets it. The new Cantina Chicken Rolled Quesadilla, only at Taco Bell.
Tonight's sports feature is brought to you by Cars Plus.
Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby! Wesley kicks out. Simon, big three. Oh, baby!
Freedom, that's a cheap thing. Freedom to ignore this, that's a cheap thing. Sacrificing facial hair to nature and involuntary blood donations, cheap things. No one signs up for an 800-pound bear chase. But if it happens, cheap thing. VIP parking, exfoliating, treating gravity like a suggestion, saying, it'll dry. Free-range parenting, forgetting if that's a moose or an elk, all cheap things. Remembering without saying it, couldn't be more of a cheap thing. Sweating your tail off, freezing your tail off, an American saving another American's tail. Cheap things. Making a cheap vehicle for only people with cash like him? Not a cheap thing. Or confusing capability with unaffordability? No, not a cheap thing. Making adventure affordable? Now that's a cheap thing. So we're bringing you more cheap things this year, because cheap things should be everyone's thing.
News Bites is brought to you by Docomo Pacific Better Together, Fresco Clothing, original custom design apparel of Guam and the Marianas. You know, folks, on News Bites, just as in life, some things can't be rushed, right? So I'm going to take my time with News Bites tonight because heading into the fall, you know, we got a little bit of summer left, right? A little bit of summer, but heading into the fall season, whether it's raining or it's sunshiny here on the island, there are amazing things going on in our community for people of all ages, and we want you to get involved because they're going to help our community, you're going to feel good about yourself, and you're going to have fun and possibly even save money, all right? First off, if you are a pet owner, and there's lots and lots of dog moms, cat dads all over the place, right? There is the SNP clinic, the Spay and Neuter Island Pets, and it is coming to Central Guam. So make sure to head over to Sinania. The Sinania Mayor's office, shout out to Mayor Robert Hoffman and his staff for always hosting this event. They turned it into a proper clinic, and the animals are spayed and neutered in a safe, swift way. The people doing it there are experts. And this is happening from August the 11th through the 20th, right? Only $50, and you can make sure that you can get population control down on the island. Because remember, like a couple years ago, 60,000 stray animals were roaming the streets. That's not a typo, I didn't stutter, right? 60,000, 60K, if you're cool, or if you're a finance major, 60000. That's a lot of animals, right? So we need to make sure that we can control our population, and please make sure to get your animals spayed and neutered. We love animals here at KUAM. All right, coming up, back to school drive. Remember what I told you about the fall? Back to school is coming up, and so we at the KUAM Care Force are working with our friends over at the Micronesia Mall, because in the food court, we're heading over to Raising Cane's. Not only do they make amazing chicken fingers and that sauce that General Manager Dave Martinez still has yet to tell me what is in it. Please, Dave, I want this to be the year. Right? But they're also known for their chicken fingers. They're also known for really giving back to the community, and they are an unbelievable big supporter of back to school. You know, you see students go to Raising Cane's after school. They get fueled prior to a game, before practice, before study hall. Whatever the thing is, Raising Cane's has always worked with us, and we are super excited to put our big box there, because you can donate backpacks, notebooks, pencils, pens, glue sticks. They still use glue sticks? Yeah, I guess in art class, right? Sticky notes, anything that kids would need when they head back to class at any level, elementary, high school, middle school, anything that they could use to be successful. We want to empower our kids with the tools and techniques that they can be awesome, all right? Because school is fun. I love school. Could you tell? But we'll see you there at Raising Cane's on Saturday. Please make sure and swing by, and please consider donating, because the kids really, really appreciate it. All right? And then speaking of kids, Weddingale Elementary School is getting the jump, or I should say, getting the run or walk, because that's what they're doing. Wait, Mitch, do deers run and walk? I think they trot. Mitch Matabuson, the best in the business, everybody. They trot, right? So make sure that you trot and hit this QR code, because that makes perfect sense, right? And make sure to register for the Lacing Up for Literacy 2K, 5K Run Walk. Again, I love this poster. See, AI is not so bad, everybody. AI is cool. You make this incredible poster of the deerling lacing up and getting ready for his or her run, and then you can help the kids over at Weddingale Elementary School, because the deerlings are getting ready, and they are going to have a fun sports activity, which you know I'm all about, and then they are also going to read, which you know I love to read. I read 2 to 3 books a week. Comic books are books too. The Bible is a book too. You know, little cartoons, comic strips, that's reading, right? Have fun with reading, and be like Weddingale, right? Have a love for literacy. Shout out to all of the faculty and staff over there at the home of the Fightin' Binaru. And they're getting it done, lacing up for literacy, all right? Birthday shout-outs now, and we got some good ones tonight.
Can you guys believe the work week is already half over? But you know what? It is never too early or too late to wish some of our amazing island neighbors a very, very happy birthday. So let's all get ready in big breath. Happy birthday to Chichivi. We love you so much. 17th birthday. Please have the best day ever. Love your very proud and adoring familia. Zion Vincent Pokagui, happy 7th birthday to our precious and handsome boy. No matter how big you grow, you'll always be our little boy. That's the best. You are a piece of our hearts and one of God's greatest blessings. The whole Bellator's familia loves you beyond words, and they're so proud of you. May God always hold your hand, protect your heart, and fill your life with endless love, joy, and peace. And Rollin and Rathan Kitatu, happy August birthday blessings to father and his son. That is awesome. Hey, Viva Kitatu family. Love your Espina and the Kitatu familias. Happy birthday to everybody. Want to wish your special someone a happy birthday? Just click the QR code here on your screen or email birthdayclub@kuam.com.
Okay, everybody, that is going to do it for our show. But for our Nevaeh Anderson, who at the conclusion of the show is no longer our Nevaeh Anderson, good luck, thank you, and we will miss you.
It's the One Micronesia Show. brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
Ali, Mogitin, Hafade Zantiro, Rananim, Kasleli, Lengo, and Yakwe. Welcome back to another amazing episode of the One Micronesia Show. So before I kick off the show, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Bank of Hawaii, but also thank these individuals and organizations who helped me here in Yap put this show together. So I'd like to thank iBoom Telecommunications, who helped me during my contribution to Typhoon Bobby's coverage in Guam. Also would like to thank Yap Catholic High School and the Micronesian Seminar for one, inviting me to the special screening of Nicole's documentary, and the other helping me use their facilities like this during the show. So thank you so much to everybody who helped to put the show together. All right, so let's kick off the show with this. I did have the opportunity to finally sit down and watch the full-length documentary, Ramithau, People of the Ocean. Check it out. While visiting Yap, I had the privilege of attending a special screening of Ramithau, People of the Ocean, a powerful documentary following Dr. Nicole Yamase's historic expedition to Challenger Deep, the deepest known point on Earth inside the Marianas Trench. But what unfolded on screen became much more than a story about one extraordinary dive. Hosted inside Yap Catholic High School's library, the screening brought together students, educators, government leaders, and members of the community for an evening of reflection. Before the lights dimmed, Yap Catholic High School Special Projects Coordinator welcomed guests and introduced Dr. Nicole Yamase,
a proud daughter of Micronesia who hails from the islands of Chuuk and Pohnpei, and who through years of hard work has made her mark as a pioneer scientist whose work has seamlessly bridged cutting-edge marine science with deep-rooted indigenous stewardship. Dr. Yamase has made history as the first Pacific Islander, the first Micronesian, the fourth woman, and the second youngest person to descend to the deepest known point on Earth, which is the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench.
As the film unfolded, so did the whirlwind of emotions.
As a Micronesian, there's a deeper connection that we have with the ocean.
There were moments that inspired hope, moments that celebrated perseverance, and moments that confronted difficult conversations surrounding identity, belonging, and racial prejudice. For many in the room, this wasn't simply watching a documentary. It was seeing pieces of their own story reflected back at them. When the credits rolled, the conversations were only beginning. I had the opportunity to speak with those in attendance to hear what resonated with them the most and why Ramithau, People of the Ocean, is a story every Micronesian should experience.
I felt so much emotions to see how somebody from our own country represent all of us in all at once, to go down to the Challenger Deep. It's really touching to see somebody be an example of stepping out of the box and your comfort zone and achieving great things.
I was really surprised seeing a girl dive in the deeper sea, and I'm really interested to know more about the marine because I'm also interested in navigating.
I was so interested, especially the navigation and the culture they were talking about and how to learn about the ocean.
I feel inspired. I also wanted to go and explore the ocean, and it was very inspiring because she even gives encouragement about her life, and I think that she's a brave girl.
I thought it was very powerful. It was very moving. For myself, especially as a Micronesian Yapese living in Guam for a few years for college, it gave me something to associate myself with. It gave me something that resonates with me. That's a positive thing. There's a lot of negativity going around, but it made me proud to be Micronesian.
It's not just something that I researched because I'm a marine biologist. Got invited to dive to the bottom of the Marianas Trench.
Holy cow, like that's actually a really big deal.
I will be going as the first Micronesian.
I hope she serves as an inspiration to Micronesian young people.
Oh my gosh, that's the bottom.
Nicole Yamase became the first Pacific Islander.
They didn't even see the word Micronesian.
If our islands are too small to be seen on the map, then you make them see you.
Now, I just hear my people, how bad we are.
I've tutored kids embarrassed to say that he was Micronesian.
Our ancestors, they were scientists. They're astronomers. Maui would always say your job is to find a way out of the storm.
Papa Mao.
You just gotta look for the light.
Before others called us Micronesian, we called ourselves Ramatao.
And again, a huge thank you to Yap Catholic High School for inviting me to watch and see this full-length show. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we get to sit down with Dr. Nicole Yamase. We'll be right back.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
At GTA, everyone gets our best deals.
So my Niao's Primos Paris is your mom's second cousin's cousin through marriage.
Wow, we're basically like family.
So can I get the deal?
Of course, everyone gets our best deals.
My nana said to tell you she went to church with your auntie.
You look just like my friend's nephew's babysitter. Small island, right? Everyone gets $400 off when you sign up for a Live Unlimited plan.
Bring it in, cuz.
Even if we're not related.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
One Micronesia Show continues, and after 6 years, I finally got the opportunity to sit down with Dr. Nicole Yamase. Check it out. Shortly after the screening, I finally had the chance to sit down with Dr. Nicole Yamase. For longtime One Micronesia viewers, her story may already sound familiar. Just a month after completing her historic dive to Challenger Deep, we caught up with Nicole over Zoom to reflect on that incredible achievement. Now, 6 years later, we were finally able to continue that conversation in person.
How does it feel? There's always so many emotions involved, especially all the different events that have happened since the dive, with completing the dive to finishing up my PhD, field work, graduating, meeting the Ramatao community, connecting with Nainoa at PVS, and just trying to figure out life, what's next.
Nicole picked up right where our last conversation ended. She reflected on the years that followed the dive, the organizations she worked alongside, the communities she continued to serve, and how that once-in-a-lifetime journey ultimately inspired a deeper commitment to giving back.
And so after graduation, I took a year off to just, process everything, but also figure out, what do I do now? And so I took a year off. I was part of the Blue Prosperity Micronesia Nat Geo Pristine Seas expedition. I traveled the world to go and do keynote speeches just to share our story about my dive. And I think those were really important steps that solidified what I wanted to do after, which was always to give back to community. The director of the film, while we were filming, he's like, what do you want to do now? And I said, all I want to do is give back to my community and, help protect our ocean. And so it was through Dan, who's like, oh, I know an org called One Reef who does just that and works in Micronesia. So he connected me with my boss, and I was able to be Director of Impact for them.
Although the documentary begins with Nicole's expedition into the deepest part of the ocean, she says the true heart of the film lies in the stories of others. By featuring respected Micronesian leaders living in Hawaii, Ramatao reminds us that every journey contributes to a larger story of our people.
Usually when people tell stories, there's always one hero that's on a pedestal, and all the attention goes to them. In our way of telling story, the Micronesian way, the Pacific Islander way, it's all about community. It's never about one person. And so even though I went down to the deep, it wasn't about me. It was about community. It was representing our culture and how to uplift everybody. In the film, we have Uncle Max, Uncle Thomas, Jeremy, Uncle Wally. They too also, it's not about them. You see in the film that we all know that we serve a bigger purpose beyond ourselves. And although we finish school or we have businesses, it's never about that. It's always about how do we give back to the communities who supported us along the way? Because there's no way we would be here today if it wasn't for them. And so Remetao highlights that. The way we tell stories, again, it's never about the individual, it's about community.
At its foundation, Remetao, People of the Ocean, serves as a tribute to Master Navigator Papa Mau Piailo, a visionary whose teachings helped revive traditional navigation in Polynesia and Hawaii and inspired generations across Oceania. Nicole shares why honoring his legacy became one of the film's greatest purposes.
Let me tell you, when I was on that ship, my first morning I got to Guam, I was on the deck and I was in my darkest storms. I was like, why am I here? Why me? Am I enough? Am I Micronesian enough? And I was having this cheesy moment you see in movies, send me a sign. And I did just that. I said, I need a sign to know that I am meant to be here, that I am enough to represent our people. And I never knew that there was a cargo ship called Papa Mau. When I was looking out, it came in and it turned. And that's when I saw the name Papa Mau. And that was the clearest sign I could have ever gotten. And so one of the also takeaways for our youth is to know that, our ancestors are listening. They're here. When you ask for something, they're gonna send you signs. And that's exactly what happened during my first morning on Pressure Drop, when I was just in self-doubt and drowning in my storms. Papa Mau came and said, Nikki, it's gonna be okay.
Before our conversation came to a close, Nicole shared what she hopes audiences, especially young Micronesians, take away after watching the film.
I want our kids to be proud. I want them to see this film and say, I'm Micronesian. I come from a culture that revolves around the ocean. I want them to know that we are so blessed, that we are so lucky to be from Micronesia. We could have been born somewhere else in the whole world, but we're from our beautiful islands of Micronesia. I just want them to be proud. That's really it. And to know that even though they may be far away from home, home will always be there for them. And that they will always, life will bring them home one way or another. I'm based in Honolulu. I've been there for 16 years. And for me, I get to go home through the work that I do with One Reef. Like some of our kids may not go home in 20 years, 30 years, but maybe down the road in 50 years, they'll go home. They're gonna go home at the right time. When it's their turn, when it's the right time for them to go home, it's gonna happen. When the stars align, it's gonna happen.
She also explains how communities can request future screenings.
There is no set date of when it'll be available to the public. It's currently going through film festivals. I do as much screening as I can when I travel for work. There's the Niatera website for Remetao where you can submit requests for screening, and then we can work on that opportunity to watch it.
Dream boldly, stay rooted in your culture, and never forget where you come from.
I hope you're ready for Remetao. This is a story that needs to be told, especially for our Micronesian kids. And I hope this story brings hope, but I also hope it makes them feel proud of who they are as Micronesians. I just want the world to see how beautiful Micronesia is and how deeply connected we are to the ocean, how it's been vital to how we are today, how we're living, and everything that we do is connected to the ocean.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for all that you did, from the dive to the documentary, and all that you will continue to do to help our people Guys, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of the One Micronesia Show.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
One Micronesia Show continues. On Monday, July 6th, Typhoon Bobby made landfall to Guam and the rest of the Marianas. This is the first time in 12 years that I have not in Guam to help my fellow brothers and sisters from KUAM do coverage and disseminate information. I was sad, but luckily, I had a chance to help. Here's my story. As my trip to Yap was coming to an end, a different kind of story was beginning. Super Typhoon Bobby was strengthening north of Chuuk and forecasted to move towards the Mariana Islands. For the first time in more than 14 years of my career at KUAM, I wasn't on Guam during a major typhoon event. As the storm drew closer, one question stayed on my mind. How can I still help? The answer came early the next morning. Around 5 o'clock, reports began coming in that many parts of the island were losing power, internet, and cellular service. As communication became increasingly difficult, our community still needed timely information. So from 5 in the morning until 5 in the evening, I worked remotely from Yap, helping publishing updates and support our newsroom and news team as the storm unfolded. Eventually, even my own internet connection at home became unreliable, so I packed up my laptop and headed into town in search of a stronger connection. There was one place that I knew I could count on, and that's iBoom Telecommunications. With the generous support of Lebu and his team, I was welcomed in and given access to fast, reliable network that allowed me to continue serving our viewers back home on Guam. With download speeds reaching nearly 300 megabytes per second and uploads exceeding 140, distance quickly became less of an obstacle. Working alongside Team KUAM with Don Sulat stationed at the Guam Joint Information Center and Matsuki Hirayama, who was posted at KUAM headquarters in Harmon, we continued delivering verified information to the people who needed it the most, one update at a time. That experience reminded me of something I'll never forget. Serving your community isn't about where you are, it's about showing up whenever you're needed. Sometimes that means standing in the middle of a storm. Other times it means helping from hundreds of miles away. Because no matter where we are across Micronesia, when one island needs us, we all answer the call. And that's the true spirit of One Micronesia. I want to say thank you to iBoom Telecommunications for giving me the opportunity to set up shop at their place to help with coverages for Typhoon Bobby in Guam. And I also think that it shows how great technology is today, that no matter where you're at in the world, you can always contribute and help out in any way possible. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more of the One Micronesia Show.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
GU Self-Storage, located in Harmon next to McDonald's, offers a variety of storage units. With rates starting as low as $95 per month, we offer complimentary use of dollies, push carts, Klein's hand trucks, and pallet jack, with a fully covered loading and unloading areas and ADA accessible units. We offer 24-hour CCTV surveillance monitoring, alarm, and individual pin-coded gate and door access, because your safety is our priority. GU Self-Storage, voted Pika's Best in 2024. Call 671-648-7867 today.
It's the One Micronesia Show, brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. Reach your possible.
One Micronesia Show, and we're down to our last and final part. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the One Mic Jam Sesh. Check it out.
Prepárate, piqueo.